Who chases and hugs Sonic all the time and wields a powerful hammer? Why, it's Amy Rose, of course! Amy Rose is lovely. That is, until she goes berserk and starts hitting stuff with her hammer.
Cosmic Fury is finally out. The long-awaited 10-episode-long 30th and final season of... what's the show called again? Now, the franchise isn't over, but as far as we know, the show in its current form is. Power Rangers is currently being developed into a new project by End of the Fucking World creator, Jonathan Entwistle. As it's going to be a while before that comes out, Cosmic Fury serves as a swan song to a show that's been going on almost non-stop since 1993. Let's not beat around the bush. How did it go? Obviously, spoilers for Cosmic Fury. I'll be going over much of the plot, so I recommend watching the show and making up your own mind about it first if that's something you care about. Before we talk about Cosmic Fury, we should talk about Dino Fury. I didn't make a video about Dino Fury when both seasons of it came out. I really don't have much to say about it, but I feel it's relevant as the story from it continues on and helps to give a point of reference when I say Cosmic Fury improves on this, or this is a holdover from that. Overall, I thought Dino Fury was kind of the same clunky mess Power Rangers has been since Samurai in 2011. Flat characters, basic plot, the writing talked down to the audience. It had its slight improvements and moments in some areas, but not enough to save the whole product. Going into Cosmic Fury, knowing it's a continuation of Dino Fury, I wouldn't blame anyone not having the highest hopes, considering it a long-standing refusal to shake off habits that have been tying it down. Now that Cosmic Fury's here, does it manage to avoid stumbling into the same pitfalls that have been plaguing the show for the past decade? The answer to that is pleasantly surprising. Cosmic Fury opens up right where Dino Fury left off. In Dino Fury, Lord Zed is revived and is sealed into a crystal by the Green Morphin Master. The Morphin Masters are essentially the guardians of the Morphin Grid. They take the encased Zed into the grid. Then in the last episode, we see our Red Ranger Zato sacrifice himself to defeat Void Queen, only to be revived by the Morphin Masters, who reveal that Lord Zed has somehow escaped and he needs to get the band back together. We open on planet Zordnia. A large battle ensues with the Rangers, Morphin Masters, and various enemies. And it's not just them. Conveniently, original Blue Ranger Billy Cranston's there, as well as Mick Canick. Ninja Steel's Red... not that one. Not that one. That one. Ninja Steel's Red Ranger. They just happen to be on the planet. Okay, minor spoiler for once and always here, but Billy mentions going into space, so it was expected he'd be a part of this. But the only explanation is that he's here on a research trip. That's awfully convenient. Whatever, it's cool. As they battle, Lord Zed overlooks the scene, being offered drinks by some new villains, both squid-themed. The filthy rich alien CEO Bajilia Nair and her annoying influencer daughter, Squillia Nair. It's revealed Bichilia was the one who freed Zed. Somehow. Didn't the Morphin Masters take him into the grid? Never mind that our off-screen scientists managed to free him from the crystal. How the hell do they manage to get him out of the Morphin Grid? I'm kind of sensing a recurring theme of, this is happening because it's a cool setup, but we're not explaining it. Of course, this is just 2 instances of it. It's only official when it happens 3 times. Rule of thirds. Anyway, Bourgeoisie is bankrolling the whole operation, providing Zed with an army of Sentinels and massive ships called Squid Drills. Zed has Ollie brainwashed, so he's evil. Again. Ollie uses the Cosmic Dino Key to blast Zato into space via a portal. As part of their plan, Scrozzle, who returns from Dino Fury, where he returns from Beast Morphers, where he worked for a villain from RPM, captures the Morphin Masters. Wow, these guys are useless. Before Master Red is captured, he drops his staff and gives Javi a vision of where to go. They hightail it out of there to an altar, teeming with energy, so much that Billy calls out the danger in activating it. I don't know, I think the lightning constantly striking it would have tipped me off. They note that the carvings on the altar seem to depict Zords combining into a megazord, something Billy confirms is par for the course on Zordnia, which is where they found the Shogun Zords way back in Season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Ooh, a reference! These won't get tiring. But evil Ollie, piloting a squid drill, finds them. Seeing as their own Zords were destroyed in the Dino Fury finale, Javi ignores Billy's warning and takes Master Red's dropped staff and inserts it into the altar, freeing the Zords. But Javi's blasted back. Ah, it's fine, Javi. Just get up and dust off both your arms. He's missing an arm.
Then let's go!
Alright, I'll give you that one, Cosmic Fury. Give us our first amputee ranger, why don't ya? Damn, it's not like a bloody mess or anything, but he still goes into shock. It's a nice little detail to sell the stakes here. Mick takes Javi to safety. Amelia, Ion, Izzy, and Billy board the newly released Zords, 10 in total. They quickly establish that they can be remotely controlled and hot swapped, which I kinda like. They quickly form the Cosmic Fury Megazord and take down the Squid Drill, but not before Amelia can get on board, put Ollie to sleep, and take him back. On a separate Squid Drill, Zed is informed of the new Zords and proclaims to get rid of the Dino Fury Rangers before they can interfere with his plan. Back on Earth, the Rangers, Mick, Pop Pop, and Tarek are arguing about what to do. Solon shuts them up. It's nice to see both Pop Pop and Tarek being involved. Tarek makes sense since he was Void Knight, one of the main villains of Dino Fury. Pop Pop, well, he's just there because it's funny, because honestly, what's he contributing to this oncoming intergalactic threat? In the next room is Billy and Ollie's hot mom, Dr. Akana. They make a plan to get Javi a cybernetic arm and to recreate the antidote from the last time Ollie was turned evil. I'm unsure of whether he's actually evil or just an asshole considering how often this happens. That's pretty much the end of the first episode. I won't be as detailed, in fact I'll be rapid firing through the remaining episodes, but I hope you all get how much different the pacing is here, and it's a welcome change. Way less padding, very reminiscent of the post-in-space through Wild Force scenes of the show, and maybe even better. Anywho, the rest as fast as possible for time. Episode 2 deals with the aftermath. Javi gets used to his new arm. Izzy, in Ranger form, is out warning the authorities of a possible invasion, and by authorities, I mean her dad, the park warden. He's still unaware that she's under the mask. The media is there too, in the form of Jane and Jayborg, who are way toned down, thank God. Could not stand the focus on them in Dino Fury. Izzy leaves and reconnects with her girlfriend, Fern, who knows her identity as a ranger, and they talk about balancing college and saving the world. Meanwhile, the antidote doesn't work on Ollie. He's just permanently evil for most of the season. How fun. They work out another possible solution to curing him, tied to the Dino Henge statues above the base. Coincidentally, Zed is targeting these statues, knowing that they're the Dino Fury Rangers' connection to the Morphin Grid, thus destroying them disables their powers. Izzy is called back, but promises to meet up with Fern later. She sets up an invisibility dome around the statues while they work out their plan to cure Ollie. Zed comes in while Billy and Ion hold them off. Fern rushes to Dino Henge after Izzy fails to return. Javi rescues her and takes her into the base as Ollie breaks out and fights Amelia. Zed manages to destroy the statues, sparing Ollie's. He intends to finish off the Rangers who teleport, not just themselves, but the whole base away. Episode 3, the Rangers are stranded on a planet on the opposite edge of space, too far for communication back to Earth. The teleportation was a one-way, one-time emergency failsafe. They managed to patch in news feeds from Earth.
I offer the following heartfelt sentiment. You can all suck it!
Pretending he was cured of the brainwashing, Ollie visits his mom. She receives a message from Mick who says he may have found Zato. Ollie takes her laptop with the intel. The Rangers find this message later on. Billy, in the meantime, uses the Morphin Master staff to re-establish the Rangers' connection to the grid, meaning new morphers and powers, plus a color change. Oh, Fern's there too. Episode 4, the Rangers go to a forest planet and run into Mick and Ollie. They fight off Ollie. Mick reveals he found a piece of Zato's cape. They find an impact crater and pieces of Zato's weapon. I honestly assumed Zato was running around this planet naked with how many pieces of his costume they find. Turns out the plants on this planet are all one sentient creature. They get trapped in some vines.
Stop moving, both of you. This is Devil's Snare. You have to relax. Luma Solen!
Ion and Amelia, as Rafconians, use their mind-reading powers to speak to it. They learn Zato is inside a tree and find him. The tree tells Zato to enjoy what time he has left. Episode 5. This and a little bit of the last episode do feel more on brand for Dino Fury, the writing style being a tiny bit fillery, but still advancing the plot. The Rangers infiltrate a mine dressed as monsters to put on a heavy metal concert to distract the alien miners from excavating a Zord. Weird thought, but hasn't Power Rangers established by now that aliens are just regular people from different planets? I mean, wouldn't dressing up like them be considered racist?
That's right, we're racist.
Anyway, as far as wearing disguises and distracting the guards as a trope goes in Power Rangers, it's par for the course for this episode, and they accomplish what they need to do and free the Zord. Tarek calls in and says he has a spy. Next. Episode 6. Fern has been kept out of battles by Izzy the past few episodes. While everyone's occupied, Fern takes the remaining morpher meant for Ollie and becomes the Orange Ranger. Tarek's spy is revealed to be Heckle from Dino Charge. Nothing wrong with him, there just isn't much of an explanation for him being there or knowing anyone in the story. Oh hey, ding ding ding, Heckle's the Dark Ranger's the third unexplained thing in the plot. I mean, they don't really need an in-depth explanation, but hey, rule of thirds. Episode 7, the Rangers return to Earth. They learn they only have to take down a single squid drill, but the anti-Zord shields prevent them from doing so. Zato elaborates on the ominous message of him, the one from the alien tree telling him to enjoy what little time he has left, saying he has a finite amount of magic from the Morphin Masters keeping him alive, causing him to pass out throughout the season. Pop borrows some tech from Grid Battle Force, which they use to teleport a squid drill irresponsibly into a prison they're trying to liberate, but I guess that doesn't seem to hurt anyone. It's revealed that they've taken Squillia for interrogation. Episode 8 turns out Squillia's a dumbass and has no intel for the Rangers after Amelia and Ion mind meld her. Meanwhile on Eltar, oh yeah, Zed established his base there, Bajillian Anderson exclaims that she has to rescue her daughter because it's bad press that Squillia got captured. The Rangers come up with a plan to free Ollie with the help of returning Dino Fury villains Mucus and Slither.
I have the best idea ever.
That is the worst idea ever.
You brought 2 villains into our secret hideout?
And you want them to work for us?
Did you eat too much flarkin cake?
They kill Squillia and seemingly Barilla Pasta in cold blood. Slither disguised as Squillia and Mucus disguised as her lawyer.
I'm a really good lawyer.
Sneak onto the squid drill and destroy the Tricera statue that Zed took from Dino Henge.
As your lawyer, I advise we blow stuff up.
The plan seemingly doesn't work. Episode 9, Zed sends the Rangers a live feed to tell them their plan failed and that they've captured Slither and Mucus. Unfortunately for him, it didn't, and Ollie blasts them before informing the team that Zed plans to become a Morphin Master. They go and rescue them, only for it to be a trap, shutting all the doors, disabling teleportation, and activating the self-destruct.
A countdown to destruction?
Zato uses the last of his magic to save them and dies. Ion doesn't let go of him and his soul gets sucked into the Morphin Grid, causing his body to go limp.
It's time to go to heaven, my child.
Stop it, what are you doing?
Stop it,
Stop it, cut it out, help.
The remaining Rangers confront Zed, who absorbs the power of the Morphin Masters.
A giant N?
What? No.
But Jake Gyllenhaal, who survived earlier, betrays them as part of her grand plan, bringing back Scrozzle to use the same device they captured the Morphin Masters with, now that Zed has the same energy inside of him. With all this encased energy, she intends to do a reverse of the Z-Wave from Countdown to Destruction. Instead of the wave wiping out evil in the universe, it instead wipes out good. Episode 10, the finale. Mucus and Slither rescue the Rangers with a stolen squid drill. Meanwhile, in a white void, Ion and Zato reconnect. But it's not quite Zato. Guys, I know you're having a moment, but this white void's already occupied. Quote-unquote Zato says a familiar line.
Perhaps I can help you in other ways. There's something I used to say in times such as these. May the power protect you.
I'm sure it's nothing. The Rangers escape Eltar thanks to Mucus and Slither, but aren't out of the clear yet. More squid drills block their way when Billy contacts them. Oh, hi Min. He's brought some help and oh my god, the Dino Megazord, Beast X Megazord, Ninja Blaze Megazord, Astro Megazord, and Galaxy Megazord. Holy crap, that's a surprise. The CG still sucks, but I guess it's good to see other teams are involved considering the scale of the threat. Unfortunately, the container holding Zed and Morphin Master energy is cracked, meaning it'll unleash the evil Z-Wave in due time. They take it back to the altar on Zordnia, hoping they can re-link it with the Morphin Grid there and chuck the thing into it. Out of sight, out of mind, I guess. Deus Ex Zato appears out of nowhere, this time dressed as a Morphin Master, and transports the Rangers inside the container. They talk it out with Zed, who outright refuses to give up his power, being all in favor for the Z-Wave. The Rangers explain he'll be gone too, meaning he won't be the one ruling over the galaxy. They use Zed's need for survival as a means to extract the Morphin Master energy within him. Zato does this, flashing to a shot of the Rangers on the ground, defeated. Zed looms over them, taking them for fools for trusting him. But what's this? A familiar voice? His wife, Rita Repulsa, is nagging him. The emasculated villain bickers with her. The Rangers watch as it's revealed to be an illusion. They're on the nightmare planet that they were on from an episode of Dino Fury. Lord Zed will relive his nightmare, spending time with his wife for all eternity. Back at the base, the Rangers and reconstituted Morphin Masters reconvene, saying they have a lot to reconsider after their hands-off humanity demeanor last season. Master Green mentions her prophecy from Dino Fury, which has honestly paid off much better here. Zato leaves, becoming one of them, growing a foot taller. Okay.
Until next time, Rangers.
I have to go now.
My planet needs me.
Javi throws a concert, having gotten used to his prosthetic arm. It's all happy good times. Ion mentions the weird line not Zato said to him in the White Void. Hearing this, Billy recognizes it as Zordon, and this basically undoes what he moves away from in Once and Always with his failed attempt to revive Zordon. God damn it. Amelia finds out Santora, her alien mom, gives birth to her baby sister. Cool. But she runs across the stage to show Ion, Billy, and Mick. As a performer myself, what the hell is wrong with her? The rest of the cast walk on stage. What the hell? That's not cool at all. Quit hogging Javi's stage. He's lost enough. Zato, as a Morphin Master, watches, saying the final line of the show.
Cool, coolio.
Ugh, I hate that line. Anyway, credits. The end. There is no sex scene. Can you believe someone on Twitter actually believed me on that? Hey, follow me on Twitter, or X, whatever it's called. I'm sure you can tell from my recap of it above, a lot is packed into just 10 episodes. One of my favorite changes they've done, and I'll say that as a fan, I'm quite happy with how they've tied things up. They made right on elements that have been holding back the show, making it more focused with an actual plot with stakes and, for the most part, interesting characters. I'm happy with how things were integrated, like the Cosmic Fury Zords. While I honestly still would have preferred a straight adaptation of Kyuranger, the manner in which they treated the Zords at least were so out of the way that they were kind of superfluous to the more character-driven story, and other than the name, they were written like they were separate from the Dino/Cosmic Fury power set. They were gleefully destroyed by Zed, but who's to say Billy doesn't repair them and give them to a new team of bright-eyed rangers in a comic story. Again, it's all handled decently enough. Just the looming Kyuranger comparisons will always be there on the basis of the Zords being used. Ignore them, and Cosmic Fury is a fine follow-up to Dino Fury. Character-wise, mostly an improvement, not necessarily with who these characters are, but how they use them. Amelia's the best. She really rises up to the leader role, and I'm glad they toned down her paranormal enthusiast shtick. Everything she did was motivated towards a goal of curing Ollie, which gave her a lot of direction to call shots. I like one moment where she uses her shared frustrations at losing Ollie to help comfort Ion and his frustrations at losing Zato. Like in Dino Fury, she's our central character, so I'm glad that's held over. The other characters don't get as much. Love Izzy and Fern, but they don't really change much. But that's okay, they don't need to. There's a little tension with Izzy being overbearing, but that disappears as soon as Fern becomes a ranger. Javi, I felt, could have had some more going on with losing his arm, but after an episode he kinda gets over it. Ion, in the meantime, while he isn't as bad as he was in Dino Fury, being self-serving, unserious, and greedy, didn't do anything other than simp for Zato. I get it, there's some trauma with him losing his best friend, again, but he doesn't really go anywhere with it. Maybe you can stretch and say he accepts it, but he doesn't acknowledge that, and Zato comes back anyway after when he would have had that revelation. Ollie, he's still an asshole.
I mean, crap, man. Look at that. That's like his stomach plug on the ground back there.
Let's keep it that way. Zed was actually pretty good. He wasn't the typical cartoony, rough monster, but like he was in the original Mighty Morphin, he let his plans unfold. Zed even lets Ollie in on why he is the way he is. Survival is power. This time around, Zed's voice is very, very good. While it's still a shame what happened with Andrew Lang, watch my previous video to get caught up on the drama leading up to Cosmic Fury. It's still very well done. No, it's not one-to-one with Robert Axelrod's performance from the original show. There are more nuances in the timbre of his voice, more resembling the original. It sounds better than the gravelly, stereotypical monster voice you hear in every Power Rangers episode. Ouch, that hurt my throat. He's voiced by veteran voice actor Fred Tatasciore, known for various roles including Goldar in the 2017 Power Rangers movie, as well as Soldier 76 in Overwatch. As for the other two villains, Brazilian and her dumbass daughter, they're just bad, uninteresting, and annoying. As sad as it is that an iconic villain like Lord Zed would get tricked by them, it's just very disappointing that these are our last new major Power Rangers villains. As for the side characters, I liked where they were. They stayed in their lane, the focus was mainly on the Rangers, and came in when they were relevant. I also like how low-key some of the cameos were. It was nice to see General Shaw, as well as Izzy and Javi's cousin Lily, being freed from the prison. They don't do much, but it absolutely helps with the world building. I hope this goes without saying, even without the strongest character journeys, the show is overall much more elevated with this character-motivated story. An improvement, but is it too little too late? Course correction. As much as I actually enjoyed Cosmic Fury, it's great not because it's necessarily an amazing season overall, it carries the baggage of over a decade of poor quality writing and production. That, I will say, is not the fault of the writers or crew. Years of mandates and executive meddling created this monster of arbitrary limitations, a show that didn't know how to respect itself, now finding its identity again. The unwieldy burden of correcting past decisions means Cosmic Fury, as well as Dino Fury, are kind of bogged down. For example, bringing in Heckle and turning him into the Dark Ranger, something that only happened in the comics that the show seemingly led up to and failed to execute during Dino Charge. It's a shame that Cosmic Fury has to be the one that picks up after another season's shortcomings. But at the same time, I'm also glad it does. While this iteration of the show is ending, little by little, they're saving anything in the future from getting held back. If we do revisit this world, there's no hangups. It's a double-edged sword whether you want Cosmic Fury to address these things or not and be its own thing. As a fan, I'm thankful that it does go into the nitty-gritty dirty work to fix things and give us a proper send-off. But under a more general audience critique, it feels like a trudge through the mud at times. I quite liked some of the references, but it felt like a lot, especially in episode 9 where they kept referencing Countdown to Destruction.
If Dark Spectre could see me now!
Geez, at a certain point, a reference isn't a reference. It's just a reminder that there's a better episode of Power Rangers to watch. Back to Cosmic Fury. Leading up to the release, there was plenty of contention surrounding Amelia becoming the Red Ranger. Again, watch my last video for more on that. After watching, I will say that in-universe and story-wise, Amelia is written as a great Red Ranger, and the logic for Zato not being demoted makes sense. Unfortunately, I still stand with my feelings shared in my previous video. This is beyond what happens in show. Zato didn't necessarily have to be used so little or lose his red status. To some fans, the color on him matters. While he's written with a literal upgrade, he's figuratively not the symbol that some want him to be as red. Despite my satisfaction, I can't deny that there were some things that it could have worked on. There's part of me that wants to call Cosmic Fury amazing, but it's mid. Yeah, mid. Which is a far cry higher than many of the post-Samurai seasons in my opinion. A lot of what Cosmic Fury does is great, but a lot of the great it does should have been the bare minimum, and was the bare minimum for years. If you want to get the full appreciation for Cosmic Fury, you do have to watch the lowest of the low the show's gotten. I thought it started off very strong. The middle felt a bit fillery but was fine, and the ending kind of fell off. It's not a bad season, far from it I would say, but I wouldn't call it a good season or a great season. I would call it fun. A nice goodbye to 30 years of Power Rangers, but not where it should have been by this point in time. Do you agree or disagree on Cosmic Fury? Tell me why in the comments. I've also got a Discord server that I'm trying to get more active. I want to do game nights like Among Us and Fortnite with you all. You can also hang out with me on Twitch. Links to both in the description.